Welcome back. Tech Goes Home. It's a leading Massachusetts nonprofit committed to advancing digital equity. TGH recently released a report outlining better ways to measure the impact of digital learning programs to improve their effectiveness. And according to the report, some of the key factors to change include gaining insights and expertise from community members and making sure there are adequate resources to attain that information, teaching skills in a learner's native language, and working with funders to balance reporting requirements with participants' privacy and self-defined measures of success. Sangha Kang Lee is an advocacy research specialist at TGH and co-author of the report, and Prince Charles, the Computer Learning Center coordinator at Codman Square Neighborhood Development Corporation. Thank you both for being here. So first, Sangha, I want to start with you. Your report contained data from a survey by Connect Humanity of nonprofits that said that while 90% considered internet critical to their work, nearly 80% said that a lack of internet access, tools, or skills among their staff or those they serve limits their work. So they can't serve their clients best with this gap. How does Tech Goes Home address that?
Absolutely. So Tech Goes Home is a digital equity nonprofit, and we work intentionally with the communities that are underserved in the greater Boston, Massachusetts. And we do that by working with our community partners, some of whom are represented in the Connect Humanity survey. So what we do is we partner with these organizations, whether they be nonprofits, libraries, or schools, to provide free digital skills courses to the community. And everyone who goes through a Tech Goes Home course also receives a free device and a year of internet that's paid for by Tech Goes Home. And so what we're doing is trying to create impacts not only in the lives of those who go through the courses, but also elevating the ability of our nonprofit partners to do their own work. So for example, if we're working with a library and a librarian doesn't have to spend their time doing tech support and can spend their time on community programs. If we're working with a community health organization, rather than spending their time helping their participants to manage online benefits, they can spend their time really devoting that into the programming in the community and trust that their participants will be able to use the digital world and the resources it offers.
And access to the digital world, very important. Prince, your organization partners with TGH. What are the most critical needs of your program participants?
I've been with my organization for about 10 years now. I think one of the biggest challenges was when we were going through the pandemic. So we had our classes that were in person, and we had to pivot our classes to be done remotely. So there were some challenges, where people were trying to understand how to use Zoom, how to text and be able to communicate and be able to get the curriculum to be able to enter the course. So I figured that when people are doing that, they needed a device. It was one of those situations where everyone was looking for a computer, either for their kids in school or when they had people or their family members in the hospital, be able to communicate with them through the whole telehealth, through watching their loved ones on an iPad when they couldn't go to the hospital. So a program like this that Tech Goes Home is offering is a great program where people are able to get these fundamental tools that they need to know digital and just know how to be able to use the technology that's so critical for today.
Let's talk a little bit more about that health piece. So one of the challenges is linking health or job outcomes to these digital training programs, but it's necessary for understanding, of course, the effectiveness, right? So how do you measure success, Prince?
How do I measure success? Well, just pretty much, when I'm offering these classes, it's just the people come there with some clue or no clue, but one of the biggest things is being with that they're able to be able to access this technology. So they do have this free computer. They do have a mobile hotspot for those who are not able to afford internet. So they're able to log on with their hotspot and use their computer. And also we give them all the tools. So we give them the mouse, we give them the headphones, we give them bag, we give them the whole full package. And there's also other options if they choose to go, if they have Comcast already, they can get an affordable, like the $10 plan if needed for the household.
Yeah, Prince, of all TGH learners, 93% live in households that are considered very low income, according to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. So talk about costs. What's the responsibility that providers have to make sure access is affordable?
Well, one of the biggest things is just, they have to be able to fit a certain requirement in their, what would you say, Sonia? That they have to fit a certain requirement for for them to be able to access the internet.
Right.
So they have to make a certain.
Yep. There's eligibility requirements to receive those low-cost plans, which we think should be raised. We want those affordable plans to be available to more folks in the state.
What actions are you taking to try to push that through?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So one thing that we're really advocating for is the continuation of the Affordable Connectivity Program, which is a federal benefit that offers up to $30 a month for eligible households to use towards internet. And we've seen this go a huge way in the lives of our learners and our communities. Families that weren't previously able to access all of the opportunities afforded by the digital world are able to do so with this government benefit. It currently is projected to have funding run out very soon, and so that's a big thing that we're asking for right now.
And what's the program called?
The Affordable Connectivity Program.
And people can still apply for that now, but it just needs to be extended.
They can, although the time to do so is running out without further action from our policymakers.
Okay, all right. Well, very important information today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you both for joining us. And thanks so much to all of you for watching. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at CityLine5. And you can follow me on X at Karen Holmes Ward. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Take care.